Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2, playing our city of Second City. There are a few things, like I mentioned at the end of the last episode, that I wanted to just show you now that we're back on camera. I've got the audio fixed. I don't know what happened last episode, but here we are. So over here in Easton, we now have all this area kind of zoned out. You really saw a lot of this in the gameplay, but I added in a high school, which now services Easton, Briarwoods or Briar Downs, and Elizabeth Crossing. We have got an elementary school which just focuses on Easton. It's got 998 enrollees, which is kind of crazy to me. And I added in the sports park complex. Now, unfortunately, 272 homeless people currently consider this place home. I don't know how they're all fitting into the few small tents that are over here, but I also built out the Hodges Sports Complex. This is right behind Doors Park, and I'll show you this as well. We've got just a little park here in front of the train station. This I didn't do on camera. I just built this one day when I was just messing around in the city. I made a little kind of like cafe area behind the bus network, and I went ahead and did just a little bit of detailing throughout. I did have a comment to turn Park Lane into a bus-only road, but unfortunately, I'm not able to get the buses, to get bus-only roads on the avenue. I can put them on regular roads, but I can't put them on an avenue. And I had already built all this when that comment came in, so I'm not gonna redo that. But then back here we have the Hodges Sports Complex. I'm obsessed with this. It connects over to Doors Park. People are already using the crosswalk to get over the train. We've got this curly kind of staircase coming down, which I think looks fantastic. And then I have 2 soccer fields as well as some tennis courts. We've got the game set match complex, which is cool. And then I spent some time building out a parking lot over here. But now it's time to kind of jump into what we're planning to do for the day. So on my little note sheet, I've got a few ideas. First, I would like to move our Pinewood Acres farming area and shift that over to Orson Farms. Then I want to go ahead and add in a new highway connection into our city, followed by finishing out building some more suburban adjacent residential, very gridded residential, but low density for now. Eventually it could potentially upgrade into something bigger, but for now we're going to keep it pretty simple. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, over here we have Pinewood Acres. This area has a lot of level 5 farms, which is wonderful, and I do feel bad that we're gonna have to get rid of them, but I think it's time we move these farms. I went ahead and I downloaded a new mod that allows me to add in resources to the ground. So I want to come over here and just fill out a bunch of farmland. So before we can do anything, we should probably buy a little bit of land here. I'm going to purchase, I think, these 3 tiles. It's going to cost $282,000 with $40,000 a month upkeep. It's pretty expensive, but we are making decent funds. And what's our topography look like? All right, it's all pretty hilly over here, but I think we could use that to our advantage. Let's go ahead and take this road. I'm just going to bring this straight on out to here. Actually, just before that, we'll go to there. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to curve this road straight up this way and kind of follow this ridge. Well, the ridge is really here. All right, you know what? Let's do this a little bit differently. Let's put a straight road here that we know we want to have. Then we'll give this a bit of a curve. We'll send this one straight on out, I think. Just connect that right on into here. Then I am going to send one more straight on out. Now, I know we were really worried about kind of the terrain and the elevation there at the start, but now that we're in here, I think it does make sense to just kind of get a little unique with it. We'll follow the curve of the ground here. And then I think what we could do is maybe even curve our way up here, splitting that in 2. So now let's go ahead and just paint this whole area, make all of this fertile. Now I know this is probably not the most realistic. However, I'm okay with that. I want to kind of edit the map in real time so we can make it whatever we want, you know? And that means occasionally adding in fertile land where it did not previously exist. Now I do want this to be very fertile. Like let's get this real fertile. Yep. Give it a little bit extra around the edge there. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields over here. Let's go ahead and just get a little reckless. The game's currently on pause. Let's come over here and start building out fields as well. We'll grab our specialized tool. Now I'm not going to do the livestock. I'm going to do that over here. So we have vegetables, grain, cotton, and grain. Okay, so we have 2 of each except for the cotton. So I think first things first, let's just add in another cotton right here. We'll send this guy straight on down to here. I'll leave that little bit open. I'm fine with that. And this one will go right along this edge. Reconnect to here. So now we have 1 replaced. Now there's 2 of each. Let's get 1 more cotton in here, which we'll place right here. And I think we're going to kind of lean in to this being a little bit of a windy field. Let's see. I will say I was watching some old City Skylines 1 videos. There was a Let's Play I was watching, and it's like 7 years old at this point. But man, the farming and the specialized industry we have here is just so much better. It's so much better. Okay, let's place 1 here. I am going to try to leave most of this open. I'm going to try to follow the road as much as I can. Okay, so now we have a total of 11 fields that are leveraging the fertile land. I put a little bit of trees in between some of these fields, nothing extravagant. We'll go ahead and unpause. It's going to shift some of that industry over this direction. Now let's go ahead and put in a few of these livestock farms. I'm thinking for these, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I would like to really just place these kind of in like a square, right? We're going to go straight on down to here. Actually, before we even zone that one out, let's grab a road and go straight along the side here. And just bring this straight on up and over. All right, what I would like to do is change this so that we come straight on down, straight on over. I'd like to go to about there, I think. So let's just line this up at the 90. And then we can also line this up here at the 90 as well. Get rid of that piece. Now what we'll do is we'll place a few more of these as well. So we have 1 there. We'll have 1 kind of in the middle. I'd love to try to line it up with this. So we're going to go like this for now. Right? Connect to that far corner. And then we can grab this and just make this at the 90 for both. Great. And then let's do 1 more right here to kind of cap this area off. All right. Now that we've just spent $200,000 on trees, I think that looks nice. You've got all this over here, but then over here is the farmland. That's pretty close. So I will consider, let's just do a little bit of road work over here. It's basically flat already because we had set this up for our train originally. So why don't we go ahead and just give this a little bit of development? It can be all pretty low density. It doesn't have to be fancy by any means, but I would like to see just a little bit of build out over here. Make this feel valuable. Let's actually use this roundabout that we have a remnant of from the few buildings that were here before. We'll do that there. We will maybe bring this up this direction a little bit. And for now, some of this is just going to dead end. And that's okay. The thinking I'm having is that we can make this look like a little bit of a small town and just keep it looking pretty cute. Just a tiny little something. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of detailing. I'm thinking we use the EE low density housing. Let's go ahead and do these really throughout this whole area. I don't mind if they're really big plots of land. That's totally fine. People have been complaining they don't have big enough houses, so here's your chance, guys. Come on over here into this new area and get yourself a big house. We'll do a little bit more work here. Maybe we'll start to kind of spread them out a little bit in this area. Okay. And then over here, I do think we'll also have some homes along this edge. Just pause it real quick. I would like to limit it to no more than 4 back. 1, 2, 3, or I guess 3 back. Okay. And then in the center area, let's do just a little bit of low density business. We'll use let's do the EE low density business. And we're not going to fill the whole thing. I'm going to place a strip right here, as well as a little strip here, followed by just a regular set of business right there, and maybe right here. For the rest of this, though, let's do some maybe medium density row. The row houses, I think, are just too much. I think it's too much. Let's do waterfront housing right in here as well. Now, right now, there's no schools set up over here. There's really no services set up over here. It's okay. We'll come back and fix that in a minute. Let's give all of this an expansion so that Orson Farms covers this entire area. And then let's give this one small little district. And right there is Woodland Street. So I wouldn't mind naming this Woodland Street. We're going to come right past the roundabout, go up and over, come right past this roundabout. Eventually, that's going to get, that road will probably continue. So for now, let's just do it like that. And we're going to call this Woodland, which I guess it is pretty close to some woodlands. It's already starting to encroach into it, but that's okay. Now we've got more room to expand southward. So I originally had placed a key wall on this section of Sunny Highway because I had imagined that this road would go underneath. So I think it would be worthwhile to make that happen. Is this going to be a simple enough upgrade? It really will be. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. I think we can make that work. All right, let's remove everything along here. I am thinking what we could do is send a road straight on out here and send a road maybe straight on out here. Then we can upgrade the interior section to be a bridge. So elevated, elevated, elevated. We can go ahead and then remove this new road we added here. And I also think we could probably take the elevation off of there. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and just move this back a little bit. I think where it's at is too close. But now we want to reduce the size of this section here. So let's go ahead and grab this guy, reduce our brush strength and our size. And I want to shift terrain, bring it down maybe about there. Let's see if that's steep enough or deep enough. We'll go to here, give that a nice little hill, auto save. We'll go from here to here, give that a nice little hill. That should be enough, I think. But if I bring this road straight on down and over, oh yeah, all around totally fine. It does go down like 15% over there, which is a little steep, but it's not the worst. Or is it? Or is it the worst? It's pretty terrible. Could you imagine driving on this road? All right, let's do this a different way. Let's build a flat piece right here. Or better yet, let's do this. So we're going to turn on constant slope. I'm going to go from here straight on down. It is negative 13.9. Let's go straight on out from here to here. And that's negative 11, negative 9. There we go. That's a much better connection there. All right. Can I simply smooth these sides? If that will work, we'll take it. No further action needed. That's perfect. All right, so now we have a new avenue that comes all the way over this direction. And right now, everyone trying to get over here has to use these roads. So this is going to open up a whole new way for people to get over here. I think we're going to remove everything over here in Field's End, including this parking lot, this one business, the road the business is on, and this little path that goes around here. I even had placed out some benches for the few souls who worked all the way over in this area. We'll get rid of that road. I think we'll keep this section of road, but we will get rid of this, and this as well. Okay. So we've kind of cleared this area out. Can I get rid of Field's End as a district? If I just click on it, can I delete it? Oh, I can. Get rid of Field's End. And let's go ahead and buy a few more tiles here. I'm going to grab, we have an exit here, or an entrance here. We can then divert some of the traffic over into an intersection here. Why don't we grab these 3 tiles? Again, it's 255. We are getting a bit precarious in terms of our wealth, but I think it's worth it. And I'm wondering if we maybe consider reimagining one of these roads here. We already upgraded this road, 10th Street, into a 4-lane right there. I could see value in turning this into kind of the main entrance here for this area. So I think we might need to do some rework of Elizabeth Crossing. If we were to go from here to here, what's the grade change? That's a negative 3.6. It's not terrible. I say we build out an interchange right here in this relatively flat area. We send that interchange over this way, and it can then eventually kind of go up and somewhere out here. Why not? Let's build a highway. Let's grab the 2-lane roads. We'll do the parallel tool. I'll keep them 1 meter apart. I think that's a pretty decent distance. And we're going to use the continuous tool here because what I would like to see is I'd like to see this kind of flow pretty nicely. Straight along the side here, we have constant slope on. It's a 3% grade change. That's not terrible. This will go over here, and I think this is just going to go straight right out from here. Okay, it's pretty good. I mean, all I did was place a few little roads there. For the moment, let's kind of undo what we had set up right here. I don't know if I'm ready for this, so I'm just going to have this kind of dead end for now. We're going to leave it there. All right, so then this new highway needs to connect into here. Let's go ahead and get some kind of small little interchange here. I think this interchange here is going to need to change and become a much larger 4-way interchange. This could probably be something as simple as a trumpet interchange for now, and we'll leave this back half open until we're ready to see a little bit larger development there. Okay, nothing extravagant. We've got some slip lanes, on-off lanes. We can easily get into and out of the city. It does look like I missed one section right here, and that this maybe came together a little bit different than I was thinking. Give me 1 second there. We want that to be a 4, and then I really just want a 3, but only to the end of this. So let's do this. Let's grab this, go out straight here, bam. All right, now we've got a decent highway interchange here. Again, nothing crazy, but gets people moving over this direction. Now I want to consider how this connects into all this, and I like the idea of connecting right into here. I think it would give another great access point into the downtown, but my only concern is that this would actually become the preferred route because it's a lot shorter to get into downtown versus going this direction and going off onto Maple Ave, which I don't know if I can select the street. Yeah, Maple Ave. So instead, let's do some really small connection, maybe right... These are propped right up against, and I don't want to put a highway around the school. So I think we actually put a connection right here. It's going to be pretty minor. It's not anything extravagant. We do have this one-way roundabout, though. All right, let's change this one-way. I don't think this is actually doing anything for us. So let's go ahead. We'll turn this back, turn on anarchy, get rid of that. And then instead, I think what we do is we turn this road here into a slightly bigger road, but to make up for it, instead of destroying both sides, we're only going to destroy one side of housing. See, I'm making up for it. Anarchy this here as well. Let's just go ahead and put in a set of trees and grass. But this time we're going to do it right down the middle. I think that's just going to look way nicer. We haven't done that before. And then let's go ahead and do some trees here as well. Why don't we try to do these birches? How will that look? Then again, it's fall, so they all look kind of the same. I think we've done birch before. What about the poplar? Poplar's a little small. I want to have a little bit of something to it. We could do chestnuts. They do have the alder here, which I like. Maybe we do like a smaller alder. A smolder. All the way up King Street. Beautiful. So that's now the entrance into this area. Or you know what? Don't do alders. Let's do the spruces. It's kind of a strange tree to have in the middle, but we got to make up for the fact that we just deleted all these houses and they're about to get a highway interchange. Now, I think because we're starting to enter into an area that's going to be much lower density, we actually do a little bit of a oops on that section of highway. For now, I think what we do is we just get a 4-lane highway, turn anarchy off, and we send this kind of straight along here, right? Perfect. It's going to naturally start going up. I am going to place a road here. Just back that up a little bit. And then we can connect both of our roads into here pretty seamlessly. For this section, I know this is a freeway, but I think what we're going to do for now, for the time being, I am just curious of what happens if we put a road straight through. Or do we already hate that? Because now that I say it, I already hate it. I would rather we send the road underneath. I think we send the road underneath. If we go down to 0.65, it's not that deep. This is already slightly elevated. I could probably get away with road, upgrade this guy into a bridge, remove these, and then let's go ahead and just take this straight underneath. Anarchy's off right now, which is wild. But then if we move this back up to ground level, it's only going up a little bit. So we'll take it. Wow. Now see, sometimes when the game auto does this and works correctly, you can't beat it. That looks beautiful. All right. Let's just do a regular little diamond. I know that this is not going to hold up to a lot of traffic. It's probably going to be like the biggest regret of my life. But I think why not try and make it work? We'll go all the way out to here as well. Do a little bit of a diamond there. It's going to be a really small intersection there. Do I prefer it here? Do I prefer it here? I prefer it here. Even though it means our intersection is really tiny. And for this, we're going to do something really far out here as well. Just line those up like so. I really think I might have screwed the pooch on this one. So let's see if I can just grab this and move it forward if that fixes things. Oh, it does. Great. Keep it on the ground. And for the moment, just place it a little bit further out. I do want to also limit that motion. We do not want you to turn that way. Same thing here. You should not turn that way. Perfect. So now it kind of gives us a natural barrier here to finish up some of our road work. So if I were to bring a road here, we could curve it kind of straight on out from here and send it straight down. Does this connect into this neighborhood? I think it does. It acts as a second way out of here. We can rotate this over and in. Just like so. And then I do think we'll have maybe 1 or 2 additional roundabouts over here. Okay. In this section here, I think we could get away with maybe 1 more roundabout here. And maybe we get away with 1 more here as well. We just make a really tiny one. Small guys right along the edge. That's perfect. All right, let's go ahead and just give this a lick of zoning here. We're going to go back to our USA style, North America style, and do the Southwest low density. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in really all of this. We'll fill in... Nope, we're going to go back. Nope, I lied. I want to leave enough space. So we're going to give that 4 deep, I think, there. All of this will also be 4 deep. This whole side here we can fill in. That's fine. Right here by the entrance, I could get into just a little bit of business. Again, I don't want to do anything too extravagant or crazy. So let's try to limit what is zoned here. But give Briarwood Street a little bit of life. And then we'll also give it a few more houses. Okay, bit more development there. Looking pretty good. Let's just throw down some trees right in this area. Now I'd say let's go ahead and get this avenue connected in here. I do want to see it be more useful than it is. I mean, it's a pretty small avenue at the moment. I'd say let's take this straight on out here. And maybe here we're a bit more conscious of our grade change. Although I say that and look at that. All in, this is 1.9% change. It's barely changing. So let's bring this to here, 0.2. That's fine. Right here be plus 3.4. So I think what I'd like to do is maybe we do this, and then maybe here we entertain adding in a better connection for this road. We've got trams that access this corner, but what if there was an avenue that came kind of straight on down from here, right over? Cuts right through the heart of the old farmland that was here. It makes this a much larger intersection, but I think I'm okay with that. And then I actually think we change this road to remove the parking that's on it. Hopefully it doesn't totally ruin the trams. Let's just grab this surface, fill this surface in, call it a day. I think that just looks a little bit cleaner that way. Now we have this avenue come straight on down right into that section. And then we can kind of get in here and do a little bit more grid work. Now for here, I think it's going to be pretty gridded. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think this area needs to be anything other than some obnoxious grids, right? Like what if I were to go like this? Really, I want to line up with the side of this highway as much as possible, which that seems to do that. So what if I just went in and we did maybe something like, can I get 3? Oh, there we go. Let's do that. Do a 3 set here. Right here, we're going to place in connection. We'll skip that connection. We will place a second connection here, and we'll place a third connection right here. On this side, I'm going to rework this road to connect right into here. So let's extend this road straight down. We'll skip that one, and we'll extend this road straight down. Now let's rework this section. I just think what we do is we actually just remove Fawn Street as it currently is, and instead use the curve tool to come right over here and connect it right up here into Fawn. Let's do the complex curve and connect right into there maybe. It's not too bad. Connects you right over into this section. Allows us to get some more buildings in there. Now, Elizabeth Crossing has this really strange old road, and I don't really want to mess that up if I can help it. So instead, if I were to go straight out here, it makes this weird connection here. So I will maybe edit this little piece. I'm fine with this area, right? That looks cute. This does not. Or we curve this straight on in. Let's put down a small little roundabout. We're going to lose a house or two, to be expected. But now we've got a little roundabout there kind of entering into this section of Elizabeth Crossing. What I don't love about Elizabeth Crossing, though, is that these neighborhoods are kind of completely separate from the rest of Elizabeth. That's not ideal, in my opinion. So why don't we do this? Why don't we extend this road further out, bring this down to here, extend this roundabout to here, but then where the roundabout used to be, or the cul-de-sac, we'll connect that in. I want to leave this to be a little bit of like a tree covered area, so I don't want to interrupt that too much. Let's just place down some roundabouts on both those ends. We'll even place them on these ends and kind of just let that neighborhood finish off down here. Let's go ahead and fill in this whole section. We'll go back 5 here. This can go all the way back, and this can go to there. These can all fill in here as well. I think this section will just go boop, nice and large. Because again, I do want to see growth, right? We want to see this area improve and get better. Actually, that we're going to turn into a little section for shops. All of this can get expanded. This can be expanded. And we'll expand right here as well. Over here, we'll do a little bit of this. I think we will do maybe some larger houses over here. And then we'll use this road to kind of help define that. Yep, that's going to be good. Okay, over here, this can be quite large. This can also be quite large. And then we can maybe get even a little bit closer to the highway here, just like so. And then right in this little corner piece, why don't we do this? Bam. Let's just see what zone's there. But now we've expanded out Elizabeth Crossing even more and are starting to get some of that suburban sprawl. It's what we want to see. Now, why don't we go ahead and consider taking this avenue. Let's take it out straight just a second. And then let's give it a curve that kind of follows the bend of this road for a minute. And it will then go over like this. I think what's going to happen here is eventually this road is going to go somewhere. Whether that's over and connects to like another local road over here, I don't know. But for now, I think right there will do. We could even go as far. I have an ant on my computer screen. Goodness gracious. It's that time of year where they're just everywhere now. I'm like, get out of here, ants. We didn't ask for you. Can we go as far as doing this? Oh, yeah. Put that there. Line this right on up. And we're just going to have this extend to here for now. Doesn't have to go anywhere. It doesn't have to do anything. But there's going to be that bridge when we're ready for it. Okay. Now I think what we do is we need to figure out the connection here, because we have a bridge going over, but we don't really have a way for people to get into this area. So I think what I'd like to see, maybe we get a little creative here. What if we upgrade this road to have 2 lanes? It connects all the way through. So it becomes 2 lanes there. We get rid of this connection, and the highway exit portion connects right here. And actually, now that I say that, upgrade that into a 3-lane, or keep it a 2-lane. Keep it a 2-lane. Because what we're going to do, keep it a 3-lane. Just do it. Just get into it. Let's do 3 lanes. If we go from here to here, and we connect right on in, right? Bam. We now have, keep it 3 lanes. I like 3 because one can turn, one can go straight, one can turn, one can turn. But now we have an exit right there, which is perfect. Then from this area here, we can come off and connect right into here. There's no intersections really nearby. If I put a road here, I can have this curve and go right off here. And then I can have this curve and go back on. Kind of like a little park low, but it has to be on this side. Does it have to be on this side? Why am I feeling like I'm already confused by this? Well, it's because I am already confused by this. And like for some reason, this is an invalid shape, even though this is straight. So let's just ignore that. And we'll place a 2-lane road from here to here. Reconnect that back up. It should be fixed now. Okay. If you want to act that way, you can. I'm just going to delete you and we'll rebuild it. I have no patience for that. Hold on. But it would help if I did it right, wouldn't it? Okay, say we were to, we have 3 lanes. What if this then just becomes 2 lanes, right? So we've got a clear off ramp, but then we could bring back the 3 lanes briefly. And by brief, I mean a little bit briefer than that. That seems like it's too much. It's gonna be a really sharp turn, like aggressively sharp. All right, let's do it the other way. Let's go from here over to here, over to here. All right, or we just do 2 turns. We'll go from here to here, and then we'll go from here to here. Flip it around, just like that. Doesn't really give you a lot of opportunity to get on. Does it just make sense to leave it 2? And we have the 3 afterwards. I think we just leave it 2. If you want to get off, you can get off. YOLO. Then this one, we're going to send this really to do the same thing. Hold on. If I upgrade this, then we could just go from here. Oh, except for not. Not that. Hold on. Put this on. Go from here. Go like this. Yep. Yep. Turn that off. Yep. And then I think right here we will do a little 3-lane moment. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but just enough that people have time to kind of get onto the highway. It's tiny, But for what we've got going here, it'll work. We also have an exit here, which is now feeling just woefully unnecessary. So let's get rid of that. We're going to just return this to its former glory as a 2-lane road, bi-directional. Connect that in, leave that alone for now. You know what? We're going to put a stop sign here instead of lights. Yeah, we're going to put a stop sign there instead of lights. We're going to do the same thing here, a stop sign here instead of lights. And we'll remove those crosswalks. So you can still walk this way and this way, but around this area, you can't cross across Lake Street. Here, we've got 3 lanes with one that becomes an exit lane. Ideally, in a perfect world, there would always be a slip lane for you to get off the highway. So I think we live in a perfect world while we're in City Skylines 2. Put our 4 there. We got that one all lined up. She's great. This 3-lane merges real early, and then it takes forever to get rid of that extra lane. So just back that up. Maybe this becomes a 3-lane right there when it becomes a bridge. Then it sends people off and out. Road maintenance is here. They're doing great work. Thank you for your service. All right, now we've got another highway connection. We got one here. We got one here. Are people using this route? A few, not many, but some. New people have moved in all along here, which is great. We definitely need some kind of tree coverage over here. Let's do a little bit more road work right in this section. Is it all flat? No, of course it's not. Of course it's not. Well, it's pretty flat. It goes up, but then it does look like it maybe goes right back down. Let's see. If I use the flat terrain tool, right here is 319. If I come over here, we're at 307. So it's really not changing height all that much. Okay, with that in mind, I say, let's kind of ignore the height. All right, this road will come right on into here. And actually, this will come right up into here. It will connect with this road at the 90. But then instead of doing this, I think this road is going to do a little bit of a curve. Kind of over this way. And maybe we put some kind of like service buildings or something over this direction. I'm sure there's things that we need that I haven't thought about. So we'll put a roundabout on it for now, but maybe we put like, the internet service building or the what's that thing called? Internet communications tower? Radio mast. JP radio mast, telecom tower. Like we could throw this over here, kind of out of the way of everyone. It's got great coverage. You know what? Easton doesn't even have one. And no one has zoned there. Why don't we go ahead and slap one over here in Easton? Could I fit it near the train station and call it a day? Not really. We've got all these things over here. We do have this highway area, but I don't want to place it there. All right, I don't want to just slap this down, so we're going to hold. But eventually we'll need to place one over there. I like that we have some green space here. And I'm wondering if this section here becomes some like green space, a little bit of a park. I think we zone that in right now. Back this up. Scoot that to here. Okay. Then let's figure out these districts. So we have Pinewood Acres. Pinewood Acres is going to end with this road. Pinewood Acres is actually going to end over here when we reach the highway. So that's Pinewood Acres, a little bit larger of a district. We have not finished the road layout for this area. What's the name of this road? Mulberry Street? Maybe Mulberry Street is the name, Mulberry something? Or, oh, well, we're not going to name the area Primeval Petrol. William Price. Here, we're just going to follow her along the edge loosely. I know I could do it right on the highway, but sometimes I get in my head and I decide I don't want to zone or put a district on a highway. All right, so we have Linden Creek. We're just going to call this Mullins because that's who just commented or tweeted. That's Mullins. And then right here, I think we turn this area into some kind of park. So let's do this. Get rid of that section of road. Yeah, get rid of that section of road. This then all becomes like nature preserve or something. Let's see. If we add this here, there we go. Let's just fix this little section. I don't like, you know what? We were connecting to the highway for all this. All right. Just call a quick mulligan here. I guess it's not a big deal if it's connected to the highway. Like, what difference does it make? Probably none. I'm probably just overcomplicating this for absolutely no reason. I'm going to spare you me redoing all that. Okay, so now we've got 3 kind of new districts here. Myrtle Crest, Karen Marley. All right, this is going to be Marley Nature Preserve. It's going to be pretty small, all things considered. And I actually think we just get rid of this road. Let's just let this be a nature preserve. We'll use some paths and such to connect all into this. I even want to say, like, screw this road. Just leave this connection here. No, you know what? Screw this road too. All of this is the nature preserve. All of the houses that we just placed along this edge have to go. Sorry guys, I know you just moved in, but you must leave. And this house here has to go. Now this will all become a nature preserve. Ooh, I like this idea. Let's just put larger sidewalks along here so you don't park here. Right? And then I think we'll put trees and grass along this side here of this road. But now Marley Nature Preserve kind of cuts right in. When the farms left, we'll say that the community pushed for a certain section of this to stay green space. And everyone was like, that's fine. We can do that. We'll let that happen. Do what you got to do. All right, let's finish out the road set here in Mullins. So I don't really have like a depth I'm looking for, if I'm being totally honest. Let's turn off the, I believe it is snap to zoning cells. And let's just redo this section. Here, let's do this one more time. I think if you turn off snap to zoning cells, is that the one that makes it work a little bit better in terms of getting you better zoning? So let's see. If I send this kind of straight on out at the 180, the 90, we'll send this one here straight on out as well. I was trying to kind of loosely match what was going on there. And again here, trying to loosely match what's going on there. That might be a little bit further down than I want. We do have the nature preserve right there, but I am going to have a road, I think, that comes right along the backside here. And it can be an alleyway even. Right near the highway. Goes under the bridge. There will be some service buildings there, but the rest of that can stay a preserve. Ooh, I love this idea. All right. This we're going to basically turn everything off. And we're going to turn on our curve tool. And we're going to curve this kind of over. And we'll even curve it in. But let's turn all this back on, turn this back off. Like so. Then we'll switch back over to a regular road. Do this at the 90. Remove these 3 little nubs. Perfect. Yep, that's the nature preserve road. Oh, I love that. Love that. These blocks feel pretty substantial, but I don't mind it. Over here, though, why don't we go ahead and make this a little bit less spacious? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll place another one right here. This is just going to be a bit more dense than the other areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would go right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will go right here. Yeah, pretty dense, but that's okay. And then I think we're going to now avoid the service road as much as possible. But I will consider doing a little bit more grids right back here. I mean, I'm going to want to have houses right up to the edge here, but I think more trees would kind of come over here and this road would be cutting through trees. So I don't want it to go too far. So what if we do this? What if we place a road right here in line with this road? We place a road right here going maybe to here. We'll do one more here. And then this one we'll do at an angle. All of these will get little roundabouts. Just kind of capping off that little section. Maybe along here, we mirror what we did here, right? We just bring out the roads a little bit and we can put little roundabouts on them. And I almost think, like, what direction is our wind blowing? The wind is blowing this way. Ugh, I'd love to sneak in some industrial here or something, but I don't know if we can actually do that without messing things up. All right, I think all around, I'm happy with how that's laid out. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.